Okay, so I wanted you all to have video access to basically how to create a program, okay? And so I apologize if it's a little bit shaky. I'm holding this and writing at the same time. I'm making this really, really simple. Look, let's say that this person is only doing one exercise, okay? Let's say that this is their bench press day. Let's say it's their Monday. So if you remember, this is week 1 Monday, week 2 Monday, I gotta add that in, week 3, and it's all on a Monday, okay? I have 3 different training weeks within mesocycle 1. I have 3 different training weeks within mesocycle 2. And I have 3 different training weeks within mesocycle 3. And collectively, that makes a macro cycle, okay? Because I have 3 different weeks, I'm gonna use 3 different rep schemes, okay? So let's start out, this is baseline. This is just week 1. So let's say I had 3 by 12, okay? And let's say that I was able to do that for 100 pounds. And let's say I just did 3 sets of 12 at 100 pounds. The next Monday I come into the gym and I decide that I want to do 3 sets of 10, okay? So because last week I did 100 when I was doing 12 reps, I should be able to go up in weight, okay? So I had 100, now I'm gonna do 110, okay? 110. Okay, that's my second week. Second week within mesocycle 1. Now I go on to my third week, and let's say that I'm doing 3 sets of 8. All right, so I'm doing 3 sets of 8. Let's say that I probably can do 120 because last week I did 10 reps. I did 10 reps with 110. I'm dropping the reps. I should be able to go up in weight, okay? This is where most of you have gotten that correct, but this is where most of you are getting confused, okay? How do you overload a program? Okay, you overload a program by changing one thing. You do one thing to make it more challenging, all right? So I'm always comparing week 1 to week 1, okay? I'm comparing week 2 to week 2, and I'm gonna compare week 3 to week 3. Okay, let's say that I want to overload the program by increasing the weight. A lot of you are saying that you're going to overload the program by increasing the weight, but when you do that, you drop the reps, okay? That works from here to there because it's a variation. This to that is not an overload. It's just different, okay? You think variation horizontally, overload vertically. Okay, so if I'm saying that I want to increase the weight, I keep the reps the same, 3 by 12, and then I want to do 110, okay? Whoops, 110. So if I'm looking at that, that's abundantly evident that you've made the program more challenging. I went from 3 by 12, okay, at 100 pounds to 3 by 12 at 110 pounds. Without a question, that should be more challenging, okay? I don't think 3 by 12 at 100 pounds to 3 by 10 at 110 pounds, I don't think that that's more challenging. But what you can also do, here's another thing, you can look at this, you can say, okay, so the last time that I used 110 pounds, again right there, the last time I used 110 pounds, I was doing 3 sets of 10. Now, I'm doing 3 sets of 12, okay? Now, let's go back to, now we're on week 2. How are we gonna overload our week 2s? Okay, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna increase the weight. So week 2, because we're increasing the weight, we're keeping the reps the same, all right? If I'm increasing the weight, I can say 120, 120, 120, okay? And so look, I can clearly see that 3 sets of 10 at 120 pounds is more challenging than 3 sets of 10 at 110 pounds, okay? That's pretty evident. Okay, we're gonna keep increasing the weight. So what are we gonna do with our reps? Well, we're gonna keep them the same. Okay, I gotta add in a week 3. We're gonna keep them the same. Okay, so 3 by 8 stays at 3 by 8. All right, and then because I'm increasing the weight, I might say 130. Okay, 130, 130. Okay, so again, I can clearly see I've gone from 3 by 8 at 120 to 3 by 8 at 130. It's evident that that is more challenging. It's not evident that 3 by 10 at 120 is necessarily harder than 3 by 8 at 130. The weight's heavier, but the reps are less. Okay, so this is just, again, if we're thinking about horizontally, these are just variations. Vertically, again, that's overload. Okay, so I could overload again by increasing the weight, but I want to give you a different example. All right, so from week 1, mesocycle 1, to week 1, mesocycle 2, I overloaded by increasing the weight. Now I want to increase the reps. So some of you were doing like 3 by 30. Going from a 3 by 12 to a 3 by 30, that's too much of a jump. So I think 12 to 15. So let's say I want 15. Even 13 or 14 would be fine. Okay, but let's say I did 15. So because I'm overloading it by increasing the repetitions, what should happen to the weight? Well, the weight should stay the same. Okay, so 110. 110. And notice this is progressive. I'm not making any huge jumps. Okay? And again, I can clearly see that 3 by 12 at 110 is easier than 3 by 15 at 110. Okay? Now I'm going over to my 3 by 10 and I want to increase the reps. So I'm going 3 by 12. Okay? So 3 by 12. If I'm increasing the repetitions, what should happen to the weight? Think about it. The weight's gonna stay the same. 120, 120, 120, okay? So look, again, 3 by 10 at 120 is clearly easier than 3 by 12 at 120, okay? Last one, I'm increasing the reps again, so 3 by 10, okay? 3 by 10, because I'm increasing the repetitions, the weight stays the same. Whoops. Okay, so the big key here is that I'm only changing one thing at a time. I'm overloading as I'm going through my vertical columns. I'm providing repetition variation throughout my mesocycles as I'm looking at it horizontally.